Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're taking a further look at the Sony A7 Mark III. I haven't actually got it to hand. I'm actually filming with it today. I'm filming with 4 cameras today, one of them being the A7R III, so you can get an indication of what the video quality from this fantastic camera is really like. I've actually got fitted to it my 70-200 f4 lens, which is right in the back of the room, and hopefully you can see that from the other camera that's filming behind it, and you can see the distance between me and the camera. And with that lens I'm getting a really nice bokeh of the background. I'm using autofocus and it's really good. I'm really pleased. In fact, I'm delighted with the autofocus on this particular camera. It far outshines the autofocus on the A7R II. Now, I love my A7R II, which is filming over here. I basically got it pointing at the computer screen. And it's a great camera. And I would still highly recommend it to anyone who's on a tighter budget or wants the 42 megapixels. It's a lot cheaper than the A7R Mark III. It has its downsides, but we don't need to go into what the downsides are. But the A7 Mark III, I've got my new 70-200 lens fitted. I've also fitted the a Tiffin variable ND filter, because I wanted to get the aperture right down to f4, even though we're filming indoors. So effectively I'm filming the close-up shot, hopefully the close-up shot with, really that's quite a head shot, a head and shoulder shot, with the A7R, not the A7R, the A7 Mark III, yeah, the A7 III. I've got a wide angle shot filming with my little Panasonic GX80. I'm filming the sort of general shot with me Panasonic GH5, which is just fair. And then, as I say, the shot with the computers being filmed with the A7R II. And the autofocus, I'm holding my phone for only one specific reason, just to show you how good the autofocus is on this new camera. So it should be just focusing on my face, and I see no reason why it won't do that. But the minute I put that there, that should now focus on my phone, and it should be fairly snappy but not irritatingly snappy. And then when I take that away, that should now be focusing on my face, and that works fantastically for me, because I work on my own. I've said this so many times, I work on my own, as with so many YouTubers do. I need a camera that has got really good autofocus, and I'm pretty sure I've found that camera now in the A7R, not the A7R, the A7 Mark III. And I'm delighted with it. I just want to hopefully briefly go kind of go through what I think of the actual image quality. Now, the stills that come out of it are outstanding. It's 24 megapixels, well 20, that's not, yeah, 24.2 megapixels, and it's great in low light, it's great in normal conditions. I mean, here's inside a church. These flares, by the way, are being caused because I used an ND filter, not an ND filter, a UV filter on the lens, just to protect the lens, and add a smudge on it, so you can see where the lens is kind of smudged there. But the actual detail that this camera resolves is phenomenal. It's really good, and high ISOs, you'll have no problem with high ISOs, can't even say it, high ISOs. And the 5-axis image stabilization is really useful with low light photography, because it does help keep you, you can have a slower shutter speed and still retain a really sharp image. So the actual image quality is excellent. The images are great. Really pleased with the stills. You won't need to, I mean, 24 megapixel full frame is more than adequate for the vast majority of people that are going to be needing or going to be using this kind of camera. It's absolutely superb. You can blow up quite large enlargements. You can go in pretty tight before you start losing any quality, and I love that. I mean, it's tremendous. Obviously, with my A7R II, being that it's got 42 megapixels, yeah, you can do a lot more with it. And but you know, how often are you going to need to? Not very often, really, are you? Hardly, maybe never. So, you know, I would have no qualms in recommending the A7 III to professionals, to enthusiasts, amateurs, whoever, because it is a great camera and results are outstanding. Dynamic range is excellent. You can pull back highlights, you can pull, I mean, you can pull it right the way back. So if you want to get detail in the skies, or anywhere, you've got the flexibility to be able to do that. And that's another great thing with this particular camera. The dynamic range is excellent. Reportedly, it's meant to be somewhere around 15 stops. I'm not so sure that's completely true, but that may well be, but it is still very, very good. So yeah, overall, the stills, no complaints with whatsoever, and love it. Now, video's another area. Well, video's my main area, and as I said, this is being filmed on the A7 III as the close-up camera. I'm hoping it's not too close and chopped off my head or whatever, but now the lovely thing with the A7 III, it does shoot 4K just the same as the A7R2 does, but one massive advantage that the A7 III has, you can shoot 4K in full frame mode. You don't have to go into the APS-C crop sensor mode, where, to be honest, to get the best quality out of the A7R2, you really do need to use the APS-C crop mode. So on this new camera, you can use the FE mount lenses, so you can get the full effect of the FE mount lenses. The great thing is, on the A7 III, you can assign a function button to go straight into the APS-C mode. You can't do that on the A7R2. You have to go through the menu. Oh dear. And in photography, because it's a 42 megapixel sensor on the A7R2, being able to go into the crop sensor mode is tremendously beneficial, particularly with my long lens. Because, you know, if you're doing wildlife photography and you want to just get in that bit tighter, you have to go through the menu, a lot of fumbling about to be able to punch in that extra bit of zoom. Not on the A7R, the A7 III, push of a function button, straight in. Wow, how wonderful that is. And I love that. Look at that, look at the detail in that. Lovely colours, lovely detail. Yeah, nobody would have any complaints with that. Lovely sharpness. It's just excellent overall. So as far as a hybrid camera, I absolutely genuinely do think the A7 III is the best hybrid camera out on the market at the moment, you know. And also the eye autofocus. Now the eye autofocus on the A7R2 was good, and I have to say good, but it wasn't great. But on the A7 III, the eye autofocus works an absolute doddle. It works a treat. It really does tenaciously hold on to that that eye, and I love it. I mean, it's a great piece of kit. I don't like the flaps on the A7 III. I still think Sony have made a boo-boo there. They're crappy flaps. The actual SD card slot is great because that just opens and you've got a proper switch, a flick switch to open that, and that's great. But I don't like the flaps on it. So there we go. That's just a brief overview of what I think of the image quality and what I think of the video quality that comes off of the A7 III. As I say, the close-up shot being filmed on the A7 III, you're looking at it now with the 70 to 200 lens, but I have got my variable ND filter fitted to it, so I can get the aperture right down to f4. I don't think there's anything else. I've covered the 5-axis image stabilization. That's great for low light photography. I haven't really tried low light video on that yet, so I would be interested to see, you know, how good that is. The continuous autofocus, again, I've said is great. I haven't tried the 10 frames per second, so I'm not into sports photography, so I've not even used that, so I have no idea what that would be like. The high resolution 4K image is fantastic. Yeah, what more can I say? I mean, anyone who knows me will know that I'm genuinely excited about this particular camera, and I love using this camera. It's got a tremendous feel to it. I've heard a couple of comments online saying it's not very professional, they don't like the handling of it. I don't know what angle they're coming from. Maybe they're Canon or Nikon users and they're used to the bigger body. I really do like the smaller body, although the pinky finger sort of slips underneath, but I do like the bigger body. There is one thing that still frustrates the hell out of me with Sony. It doesn't happen with Panasonic, but with Sonys, you plug a monitor into the HDMI port or one of my Atomos recorders, anything that goes into the HDMI port. The minute you hit the record button on the camera, it blacks out the camera's monitor. So you're left with just the monitor and say the Atomos or your field monitor. I mean, generally speaking, that would be fine. But if you're doing some filming and you've got a producer, stroke director, or art director, whatever, wants to see the monitor, so you've turned the monitor around to him or her to see, well then the camera person, i.e. me, can't see the back of the camera. You can't see anything. You can see the menu, but you can't see the image. If Panasonic can work around that, and probably other manufacturers, why haven't Sony worked around that? It does frustrate me and it does annoy me, but other than that, it's not a deal breaker with me. I love Sony, and there we go. Great camera, great piece of kit, great image quality, and great handling. Well done, Sony. You've come up with a corker with this one. Great battery life as well. Maybe, and twin SD card slots. I mean, yeah, they've really come up with a corker. So there we go. That's my thoughts for today on the image quality, both video and photography, of the A7iii. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoy my channel. Please subscribe if you do, if you haven't already done so, and hit the like button and tell all your friends. Many thanks. See you on the next one. Cheers for now. Bye.